Wild weather watch. New tonight on Our News, live at 7. The southern Bahamas still on alert as the National Hurricane Center considers discontinuing a weather watch. And hours after severe flooding on Bimini, unsettled weather has improved. The Works Minister says he's now making improved road conditions his personal mission. Plus, a former prison officer is jailed after he was convicted of smuggling marijuana into the Department of Corrections. Then in Our News at 7:30, a U.S. sailor's year-long journey comes to an abrupt halt. Our Bethany McDermott has the exclusive on how wild weather over in Bimini ended a lifelong dream. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candido Knowles. A tropical storm watch in place for islands in the southern Bahamas as a cyclone is threatening to bring bad weather to the area. Our Joshua Williams, he's been following this for us today. He spoke with the island administrator on some of those islands as they prepared.
Residents in the southern islands now bracing for a potential storm that could be headed their way in the coming days. Meteorologists placing the islands of Atlantis, Crooked Island, Long Key, Semaniki, Ragged Island, Mayaguana, and Inagua under a tropical storm watch. As weather conditions on the island begin to deteriorate, Island Administrator for Atlantis and Crooked Island, Preston Cooper, says preparations are ongoing.
We had a head of department meeting on yesterday. We have our contingency plans. We have areas identified for flooding in the major key Fairfield and the Landville Point areas. We have contingency plans in the event of flooding, but we do hope that they don't have to come to that.
On the island of Mayaguana, preparation plans are also underway.
What we're discussing in terms of readiness, we want to make sure that we are ready in the event they say, look, this thing is coming to you, we got to do this. Social services has advised me. Social services is ready. The shelters are ready. All they got to do is open the door.
Over the past few days, the country has seen adverse weather conditions. The system now moving south has also produced heavy rainfall on the island of San Salvador.
At present, we had to close school today, so there's no school on the island today. We have a drain in the Marshall Track area that we have a dump truck. Someone is clearing that drain. The ground is very saturated. Around the airport, there's still a lot of water. So we're trying to do the best we can now.
Overall, the local leaders say they're not worried.
Everybody's going about it. I've asked a few persons, and everybody say, well, Administrator, we're prepared. You know, we've been through this before.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Joshua. A years-long sailing expedition brought to an abrupt end after bad weather sparked fierce waves and strong winds that battered Bimini this week. Retired American Mike Mankey and his best friend were on an expedition when the wild weather brought their trip to a crashing halt. Mankey says he's never experienced waves like that over the 3 years he's owned an antique vessel. He says weather reports led them to anchor off the west side of Bimini where the sailboat would be sheltered from the elements, but he explains things took a drastic turn.
The plan worked perfectly up until about 6 this morning. It developed into a tropical-like storm with rotation and some really fierce winds. We've previously been through 4 hurricanes on this boat at anchor and never experienced winds like that.
All right, our Bethany McDermott has the exclusive story coming up in Our News at 7:30. And more out of Bimini tonight as residents on the island could see road conditions improve soon. The Ministry of Works signed a $2 million contract with Knowles Construction and Development Company to carry out the work. Works and Family Island Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting says this latest signing goes hand in hand with government's commitment to improving Family Island infrastructure, as well as a promise to the late Member of Parliament for the island, Obi Wilchcombe.
Our islands are highly sought after for travel destinations, and we must ensure that not only the visitors to our shores, but both domestic and international are comfortable on our islands. It is my personal mission to see this completed. Today we are ticking off the items as he requested, and today we are pleased to sign this contract with Knowles Construction to rebuild the roads in South Bimini and repair the ones in North.
Family Islands engineer in the Ministry of Works, David Cox, detailing exactly what will be done.
The works involve verge clearing, which would be 8,581 square yards. There's pothole patching and edge repairs, which will be mainly on the north side of the island. That's 2,500 square yards. And there's going to be lime rock base on the south of the island. There's going to be a complete reconstruction of the White Top roads, which would involve lime rock base material, scarification of the existing road surface, and new lime rock base material, and new asphalt, hot mix asphalt surfacing will be done.
A former cabinet minister in the Davis administration calling last week in Bimini a political stunt. Former housing minister Kenneth Russell questioned why it came weeks ahead of the by-election for West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
It was a political stunt at this time just to show Bimini that they are moving the airport forward. But the guy told Dr. Davel this morning, how come suddenly everything is a priority one, everything is a go ahead, everything is a let's get it done? How come that happening now?
The government signed a management agreement for a public-private partnership for the redevelopment of South Bimini International Airport with Bimini Airport Partners Limited. The management agreement allows a 30-year concession to manage the airport with firm commitments to invest $80 million in what will be a new state-of-the-art facility over 2 phases.
Don't tell me you was just doing the groundwork and whatnot for the past 2 years.
All right. A former corrections officer caught smuggling drugs into prison has been jailed for 8 months. Kadeem Watson was arrested on April 11th after his superiors say they found 1.2 pounds of marijuana hidden in his thermos. Police officers found 1.1 pounds of marijuana when they searched his apartment later that day. The 28-year-old pleading guilty to 2 counts of drug possession with intent to supply and taking prohibited items into a correctional facility before his trial began before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. Watson was sentenced to 3 months for the drug charges and 8 months for taking drugs into the prison. The sentences will be served concurrently. Watson will also serve an additional 4 months behind bars if he doesn't pay a fine of $2,500. And police are investigating the sudden death of an 18-year-old man who died just feet away from the parking lot of the Tribune newspaper. Police tell us he was found lying in the street at the intersection of Shirley and DeVoe Streets around 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Emergency medical services were called and determined he had died at the scene. It's unclear how the man died, but our news understands he was being electronically monitored. An autopsy is expected to be performed to determine the exact cause of death. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, this wild weather continues to be unsettled, and I mean, just outside the studio today, the rain would not stop, would not let up. What are we expecting into the weekend?
And thunderstorms. You had quite a bit of that this afternoon.
True.
Yeah.
I did actually hear thunder. You're right.
That's actually a frontal boundary. You know that low pressure system that we had spinning across the northwest Bahamas, that moved to the north, but a front developed out of that across the northwest Bahamas, and the upper levels was just right to help it to form into some showers and thunderstorms. But it's moving out and the thunderstorms are dying right now. Partly cloudy skies right now outside our studio. 78 degrees is our temperature currently. South-southwest winds at 10 miles per hour. It's that south-southwesterly wind that's bringing in that moist, unstable air mass. 80 degrees is our current feel-like temperature. Temperatures around the islands right now at 77 in Freeport, 78 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. You guys have some showers there. Also in Governor's Harbor, 78. 80 in Alistown, Bimini. Showers there as well. Great Harbor Key, 79. 77 in Nicholstown, Andros. Pick up 78s in Kemps Bay. 76 in Arthurstown, Cat Island. Pair of 79s, Georgetown and Deadman's Key. Showers there. Kubantown, you have some showers as well with cool temperature of 71. You're the coolest spot in the nation. And into the southeast Bahamas, 80s, 81 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, pair of 80s in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, 79 Abrams Bay, Providenciales 79, and Matthew Town in Agua. You guys are also 79 at this hour. Satellite radar composite showing the cloudy situation, that moist plume still across that area. A weak frontal boundary developed out of low. This is low actually to the north of us, and that front just developed across us. We had what we call training, so we had showers and thunderstorms form, and then they weakened a little bit, and then more showers formed along that line. But the bulk of this is now moving towards the southeast. We are looking for some improving conditions tomorrow, so don't be have despair. It's going to look a lot better on Saturday. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, the battle for Atlantis. Hotel executives preparing for a busy weekend ahead as hundreds of team players and guests arrive. And do you need a home-based or commercial license? Find out in tonight's Work in Progress segment. Plus, December 16th, about to be hot, hot, hot. The Yay, City Boys, and Last singer Burna Boy set to hit the stage. Find out the concert deets when Our News returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
The battle for Atlantis begins this weekend, and that means 16 university basketball teams are in town. That translates into heads and beds, a boost for Atlantis heading into the holiday season. Atlantis Executive Director of Special Events and Entertainment, Sean Dalton, says they're happy about the positive impact the tournament has, not just for the resort, but for the country.
Obviously, a positive impact on heads and beds and excitement around Atlantis and in the Bahamas. This is an exciting time of the year, and again, this is one of the premier basketball tournaments going. We kick off tomorrow's women's tournament with Ole Miss. The Running Rebels are taking on Howard, and Ole Miss obviously being coached by Coach Yo, so a Bahamian coach, first-time coach here at Battle for Atlantis, which is awesome. And Howard, and we have a lot of Bahamian, a lot of Howard alumni are Bahamian, so we expect this thing to kick off in an exciting fashion.
Dalton says the resort has set up the arena for about 3,000 people. He spoke to what it took to transform the ballroom.
We set up bleacher seating for, we end up with around 3,000 people for bleacher seating, floor seating, and then the court. This year we're actually elevating our court to help with the sight lines, adding courtside seating, as well as elevating our bleacher sections again to enhance the guest experience and make game day even more exciting. From about the last week on, it is around-the-clock operations, and we're fortunate to have dedicated people who have been a part of this since the beginning. to get the arena transformed from a ballroom into the Imperial Arena.
All right, now our Sasha Lightborn, she's got an exclusive interview with Grand Bahamian head coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen. Her team, Ole Miss, will be participating in the battle for Atlantis. That story is coming up in our news at 7:30. Earlier in the week, we learned that over 15,000 land use applications have been processed this year for business licenses. In tonight's Work in Progress, we're answering the question, do you need a home-based or commercial license? Marlena Leonard has this.
I know one of the difficulties persons would have would be to understand the difference between a home-based and a commercial license. Persons would note, okay, I want to run a business from my home. That means I need to get a home-based license. No, a home-based license will be literally to give you approval for a point of contact only from your residence.
Newman reminds entrepreneurs that the licensing process does not affect the zoning of your property. And while you may feel you'd be doing most of your work from home, she says,
if your license request or your business idea entails you actually storing equipment or opening up a business on the property or persons coming to your business, that's not a home-based license.
A 2020 Adobe report showed e-commerce grew 77% from the year before, something they say would have taken up to 6 years to happen had it continued at the same rate. Newman says many Bahamians are ready to jump into e-commerce, but she says while regulations catch up to the new business model, they may have to take a few extra steps.
E-business is something that's popular as well, where persons want to know that, hey, wait a minute, I want to bring in general merchandise. It's an e-business. However, at this point in time, because of the fact that we are working on regulations, you would still have to apply from a commercial spot. So that's basically one of the most difficult things that persons would have in terms of understanding what we do. But different from that, we're good.
Reporting for Work in Progress for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the UN stops delivery of food and supplies to Gaza. Plus, music icon Sean Diddy Combs is accused of rape and abuse. We'll tell you the damning allegations in a recent court filing. And from the region, CARICOM leaders want reparation collaboration with Africa. How the effort is expected to advance the cause when our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The United Nations says it was forced to stop deliveries of food and other necessities to Gaza on Friday and warned of the growing possibility of widespread starvation after internet and telephone services collapsed in the besieged enclave because of a lack of fuel. Israel announced that it will allow for the first time very minimal daily shipments of fuel into Gaza for use by the UN and communications systems. It appeared the amount would be far less than what the UN has said is needed to fuel water systems, hospitals, and trucks to deliver aid, not counting the communications network.
There will not be a cross-border aid operation at the Rafah crossing tomorrow morning. The communications network in Gaza is down because there is no fuel, and this makes it impossible to manage or coordinate humanitarian aid convoys. Today, Gaza looks like it's been hit by an earthquake, except it's man-made and it could have been totally avoided. We have just witnessed in the past week the largest displacement of Palestinians since 1948. The people of Gaza are trapped in an enclave with no way out. The enclave has now shrunk by half. Many continue to flock to UNRWA shelters, where we are hosting more than 800,000 people.
Sean Diddy Combs faces rape and abuse and an abuse lawsuit. That's according to court documents obtained by Page 6 on Thursday. Me and You singer Cassandra Ventura has filed a complaint against the musical mogul, claiming he raped and abused her during their relationship. The documents alleged Diddy was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Miss Ventura savagely while they dated. An attorney for Diddy has denied the accusations. And 2 people have been arrested in the largest seizure of counterfeit goods in U.S. history, including knockoff designer goods with an estimated retail value of more than $1 billion. According to indictments and a news release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, 38-year-old Adam So and 42-year-old Abdullah Jallah ran the trafficking operation out of a Manhattan storage facility from January to October. At a bond hearing Wednesday, a judge set So's bond at $1 million and Jallah's bond at $500,000. And the union representing thousands of Starbucks workers in the United States staging a walkout on one of the coffee chain's busiest days of the year. The action comes amid a bitter fight between Starbucks and Starbucks Workers United, which started organizing workers at the company in 2021. The 2 sides are fighting over pay, scheduling, and other issues. Roughly 200 stores were expected to be affected by the work stoppage. The protest is the second to coincide with Starbucks Red Cup Day, when the company distributes reusable holiday-themed cups, which operates, Starbucks that is, which operates roughly 10,000 stores across the U.S., said it did not expect major disruptions. And from the region, the Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, Dr. Carla Barnett, says CARICOM leaders have agreed that collaboration with Africa on reparations is critical to moving the reparations justice agenda forward. Dr. Barnett, who addressed the 4-day ACCRA reparations conference, said regional leaders welcomed the update that the African Union is also seeking to develop a common position on reparations and a roadmap for future collaboration with the African diaspora on reparatory justice. The conference has brought together many African heads of states and government alongside scholars, legal experts, and representatives of civil society organizations. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was November 17th. Then in our news at 7:30, wild weather in Bimini this week brings a years-long sailing expedition to an abrupt end. Berthany McDermott has the exclusive story of the retired American who saw his dream come to a crashing end. Plus, Aliv and Rev officially opened their headquarters on East Mall Drive in Freeport. We'll show you scenes from this morning's ceremony when our news returns.
Have you heard that sound? It's the sound of us. Since our origins, we burst music. Our sounds mix together. So let us hear your sound too. Your sound of passion, of joy, of friendship. The sound of your style and the beat of your night. It's time to play together the sound of Guinness, the sounds of greatness.
Doctors Hospital's reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Welcome back to Our News. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was November 17th. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history in 1800, James Webster was elected Speaker of the House of Assembly. Then fast forward to 1998 when Esther Roll died in California. She was 78. Born in Pompano Beach, Florida to Bahamian immigrants, Roll was an actor best known for playing Florida Evans on the television show Good Times. In 2012, the first beach soccer facility in the Caribbean opened in the Bahamas. The first match was Bahamas versus Jamaica. Then Sports Minister Dr. Danny Johnson said the country had set the pace for the rest of the region.
We join with you in congratulating and announce this facility at this great time in Bahamian history, officially and wonderfully open.
This facility will certainly make the Caribbean very proud. This facility will be used, and I can tell you, I know that I would have the support of President Webb in ensuring that the Bahamas is host to competitions in the future.
And in 2021, Minister of State for the Public Service Pia Glover Roll, who has since become the substantive minister, revealed workers were hired by the previous Minister administration on the day of the September 16th general elections. She said others were engaged days after the vote in which the PLP was elected. She announced that hiring had since been put on hold.
She said those hires are up for review to ensure the proper procedure was followed. She also reveals that in the last 8 weeks, around 40 individuals on New Providence and the Family Islands were hired but are sitting home collecting salaries because there's simply nowhere to place them.
And that is why we have to have the audit, ensure that we are filling the gaps and building capacity where it's necessary and not just bringing people on to have a job. But there are a few, and as a result, we have to do what is best for the taxpayers' money, and we may have to disengage some of those persons.
All right, well, if you're a Burna Boy fan, then this next story will certainly excite you because his highly anticipated concert is set for December 16th. In a press conference held earlier this week, Foreign Currency Promotions organizers noted that attendees will not just be viewing a concert, but will witness the first ever Spilligate Festival.
Gates open at 4 p.m. and we're going all the way up to 4 a.m. The Cultural Village will have everything Bahamian, peas and rice, guava duff, everything. So this is not, guys, an opportunity to have just a concert. Or it's really a festival to bring persons to our shores, to open them up to who we are, open them up and expose them to our culture. And that is what we are hoping to do. And by the looks of our back end, it is really coming together very, very beautifully.
And we are learning that concert goers are purchasing tickets from as far as Europe, and some organizers are admonishing Bahamians not to wait until the last minute, or else you just might be left out.
The NSA's involvement in this along with the police. We're going to do something that we haven't done at any other concert in the Bahamas. And that's if you don't have a paid ticket, and that's ticket in terms of the event or parking, you won't even be able to get in past the entrance to the sports center itself. So anybody turning into the sports center will have to show their ticket. So you're not going to be able, how persons like to come and just sit outside and just listen or watch from wherever they watch. That's not going to happen this year.
All right, sounds very exciting. If you want to see that story again and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Natalia Hall with the latest headlines. And Natalia, I know that, well, someone told me that you are a big Burna Boy fan.
I am so much that I went to go and see him for my birthday, but unfortunately he did not show up.
Wait,
but,
what?
Yeah, hopefully,
oh, no.
you know.
I mean, I saw something online today that said he canceled another concert.
Yes, this was in Denver. He didn't show up. I was very disappointed, but hey, maybe I'll catch him on
So
the 16th.
does it mean that you're not a fan anymore?
I am a fan.
Okay,
still
so
a
what's
fan.
your favorite Burna Boy song?
I think I like Last.
Yeah.
Big Seven, City Boy, so many Kens.
So give me, yay. It's yay for me. Yeah.
Okay, Ken.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much. While residents in the southern Bahamas preparing for wild weather, and we have an exclusive story from the island of Bimini. Here are your latest headlines. Weather Watch, first tonight on our news live at 7:30. All eyes on the southern Bahamas as a major weather system threatens the area. Also, a years-long journey comes to an end for an antique vessel. Following severe weather conditions in Bimini this week, we have the exclusive story coming up. Also, a double shooting in the capital leaves 2 men in hospital. And later, the British Colonial Hotel preparing to open its doors. This as the nation's leader gets an up-close view of the newly renovated property. Our news live at 7:30 is back in a moment.
Have you heard that sound? It's the sound of us. Since our origins, we burst music. Our sounds mix together. So let us hear your sound too. Your sound of passion, of joy, of friendship. The sound of your style and the beat of your night. It's time to play together the sound of Guinness, the sounds of greatness.
Doctors Hospitals reimagine primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Welcome to our news and thank you for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. A tropical storm watch is now in place for islands in the southern Bahamas as a cyclone threatens to bring bad weather to the area. Residents on those islands now bracing for a potential storm that could be headed their way in the coming days. Included are the islands of Acklins, Crooked Island, Long Key, Semaniki, Ragged Island, Maguana, and Inagua. Island Administrator for Acklins and Crooked Island, Preston Cooper, says preparations are ongoing.
We had a head of department meeting on yesterday. We have our contingency plans. We have areas identified for flooding in the major key Fairfield and the Landville Point areas. We have contingency plans in the event of flooding, but we do hope that they don't have to come to that.
Now, over the past few days, the country has seen adverse weather conditions. The system now moving south has also produced heavy rainfall on the island of San Salvador.
At present, we had to close school today, so there's no school on the island today. We have a drain in the Marshall Track area that we have a dump truck. Someone is clearing that drain. The ground is very saturated. Around the airport, there's still a lot of water. So we're trying to do the best we can.
All right, well, a years-long sailing expedition brought to an abrupt end after wicked weather sparked fierce waves and strong winds that battered Bimini this week. In this report, our Berthany McDermott shares the story of a retired American sailor who saw a dream come to a crashing end.
Wednesday's wild weather, which sailor Mike Meinke likened to a mini tropical storm, causing a stumbling block for Meinke and his best friend who planned to sail through the Caribbean. Meinke says weather reports led them to anchor off the west side of Bimini, where the sailboat would be sheltered from the elements. But he explained things took a drastic turn.
The plan worked perfectly up until about 6 this morning. It developed into a tropical-like storm with rotation and some really fierce winds. We've previously been through 4 hurricanes on this boat at anchor and never experienced winds like that.
Meinke says the wind came at them from the south and the east, bringing big waves of up to 32 feet. The force pulled up the anchor.
We've only got a little 27 horsepower, 3-cylinder diesel engine because it's a sailboat. And it just couldn't overpower the waves, and within minutes, here we are, aground on the beach.
Fortunately, the sailboat didn't flip, but Meinke says it left a big dent in their plans. He said damage to the 1972 model CNC 39 sailboat could cost him up to $10,000 to fix and take up to 3 weeks for the job to be complete. He says they've contacted several vessels for help, but up to Thursday night, the vessel was still on the beach. However, Meinke remains optimistic.
This is our 3rd stop of destinations, and we were just going to do a clockwise rotation through the northern part of the Bahamas and work our way all the way down to Anagua, check out and go over to Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and just continue island hopping down to Grenada and Aruba.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks for that exclusive story, Berthany. While 2 men are in hospital following a double shooting in the Tropical Gardens area, the incident unfolding around 5 yesterday. Police say the victims were approaching a rental property when gunmen approached and opened fire. The first victim was shot in the neck, while the second victim was shot multiple times in his back and right arm. They were transported to hospital via a private vehicle and are currently listed in stable condition. A judge refused to accept the guilty plea of a man who said he killed another man in self-defense. Gene Joseph pleaded guilty to the reduced charge of manslaughter in the February 15, 2020 stabbing death of Roderick Taylor when he appeared before Justice Guillermina Archimedes. The court heard that the man got into a fight while at a bar on Ross Corner. Joseph left the bar and Taylor followed him to his home. Joseph stabbed Taylor in the chest. After the stabbing, Taylor ran home and died on his porch. The judge said that she couldn't accept the plea since Joseph maintained he was defending himself against the deceased. As such, Joseph will go to trial on October 2nd, 2024. Joseph has been in custody since 2020. Well, another rainy day in the capital. Hopefully, weather conditions improve because the weekend is officially here. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center live for the first check on weather. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we had a frontal boundary that sagged into the New Providence area. Behind that, to the north of it, much improved conditions, but that frontal boundary kind of stalled and we had some upper level support. So we saw some showers and some thunderstorms, and it is going to clear out later on tonight. So tomorrow looks a little better. 77 degrees outside our studios under partly cloudy to cloudy skies. Some thunderstorms are still lingering out there, but they are weakening as we speak. Southerly winds at 10 miles per hour, and your feels-like temperature right now is at 82. Satellite radar composite showing the plume of moisture that's across the central and southeast Bahamas. That is actually associated with the upper level trough and that system down towards the southwest Caribbean and Nash Hurricane Center, now giving that less of a chance for formation. So it looks as though they may drop the watches for the southeast and central Bahamas later on tonight to tomorrow. We will wait to hear from the Hurricane Center to see what's happening with that. But in the meantime, dry air mass moving across the northwest Bahamas. Much improved conditions expected for the weekend across most of the northwest Bahamas. That's your quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your weekend forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, starting next month, the British Colonial Hotel will welcome its first group of visitors. Post-renovation, we'll show you the inside as the Prime Minister gets a tour of the property. Plus, a banking institution officially opens its doors on the island of Exuma. Bank executives explain how it's expected to be a model for solving issues in other family islands. And believe in Best, Aliv and Rev offering an enhanced shopping experience for customers. This as the company opens a new store in Grand Bahama. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Doctors Hospitals reimagine primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Prime Minister Philip Davis and members of the cabinet touring the newly renovated British Colonial Hotel. The historic hotel on No. 1 Bay Street will reopen on December 12th, adding 288 newly renovated rooms to the country's inventory. The cost of revamping the hotel is around $50 million. Prime Minister Davis and the British Colonial General Manager Dan McDermott had this to say following the tour.
What I'm impressed with is the manner in which they have kept all of the ambience of office antiquity, but yet still have touched it with a lot of modernity. And so you have this mix of the old and new together. And it's an amazing reproduction that we are witnessing here.
It's different than other hotels. I just think this hotel is woven into the fabric of the Bahamas. I think it's been here. I think people have a tight personal relationship, countless weddings, countless events that people have been involved with in this property. And when I tell people that we're reopening it, there's a different level of excitement.
Well, banking just got a whole lot easier for Exuma residents with the opening of a new Fidelity hybrid branch in Georgetown. Since the announcement of the departure of Scotiabank in 2020, banking options have been slim, with residents saying the ATMs on the island are often unreliable. Fidelity's new hybrid branch offers an alternative to traditional ATMs. They've also partnered with Cash and Go to provide cash services for residents. While acting Prime Minister, also MP for the Exumas and Ragged Island, Chester Cooper says this new model could be the solution for banking issues in other family islands.
I know that this is a creative model, creative alliance. This can be the model for solving the banking issues in the family islands. Our commitment as a government remains resolute in ensuring that family islands, especially Exuma, are not left behind in the realm of financial services. We think that this model being deployed here today can be the catalyst and can be the engine that resolves many of the woes of our other family islands, including Long Island, North Andros, and the entirety of Andros where opportunities exist, and many of our other family islands that have become unbanked.
It was a day of celebration for Aliv and Rev as the company officially opened a headquarters on East Mall Drive in Freeport, Grand Bahama this morning. Most may know the building as the corporate office, but it's now a store, which retail channels manager Karan Chase says will be an elevated experience for customers.
We have phones on display, and I'm happy to announce that we are introducing officially Ring products as well as TCL TVs to Grand Bahama. We're super excited about this brand new experience that we're going to provide to the community.
Cable Bahamian's Vice President of Customer Experience and Channels, Allison Lavarity, thanking the community and the team for their support.
This dynamic team makes my job easy. I can say that this was just a thought. We were sitting at the table, we said, what can we do with the space downstairs? And before I know it, they had plans. It's a store. And so this team has worked hard over the last 5 months to present to you an experience, a dynamic customer experience. Like Hiran said, we're introducing Ring to Grand Bahama, but today we're also launching our Black Friday sales.
All right, congrats to Aliv and Rev. Well, November is being celebrated as National Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Month. This is the second consecutive year, and Interim Executive Director of the Small Business Development Center, Samantha Roll, says these businesses help to drive the Bahamian economy. She also says they help keep thousands employed, as well as spark entrepreneurship.
The SBDC's impact in the last 18 months has doubled the number of approvals for our guaranteed loan program, and in the last year received over 2,000 requests for funding programs, advisory services, and mentorship. Opportunities across 12 islands. As we expand our presence in the Family Islands, our aim is to strengthen our service offerings, streamline processes, and build strategic partnerships, anticipating transformative growth in our client base.
Well, head of SMEs in Family Island Development at Aliv, Chantel Sands, agrees, noting Aliv is doing its part to help those kinds of businesses.
We recognize the significance of the smaller businesses in the country and the contribution they make to our economy. Strategically, this month falls within our 3-month-long Ultimate Business Makeover campaign, which offers MSMEs a bundle package for internet, voice services, as well as SMS bulk messaging to further assist their technology needs and improve operational efficiencies and productivity.
When our news comes back from the break, going green. 3 children's homes in New Providence set to receive solar microgrids to help lower electricity costs.
Coach O makes her homecoming and see who won the National Primary Soccer Tournament. Don't go anywhere. Our sports is coming up next.
And we are watching unsettled weather in the southern Bahamas. Greg is back with the details when our news continues.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
This is our news. Welcome back. Caribbean Renewal Energy Limited and the Ministry of Finance signing a contract to provide reliable, sustainable energy for 3 children's homes in the capital. The value of the project is some $1.6 million. A microgrid system with solar lights will be installed to help reduce the consumption of energy at the various facilities. Now, Energy Minister Jobat Colby Davis thanking the team responsible for the project, while State Minister responsible for Social Services, Miles Rhoda, says he's grateful for the initiative.
The benefits of installing solar, photovoltaic, PV, and energy storage system at the homes include the creation of a more sustainable future for all 3 facilities, specifically the reduction in the electricity bills, increase in the value of the 3 homes, and enhancement of energy autonomy and independence.
The children's homes are safe havens for our vulnerable children who are in need of care and protection. Our partnerships with various boards have been in existence for many years, and we will continue to strengthen this existing relationship for the benefit of these children.
President of the Ranfley Home for Children, Joey Permock, expressed her gratitude.
The expenses of the home are very heavy, and the partnership of having this is extremely, we're grateful.
While we get the opportunity to talk to University of Mississippi head women's basketball coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen, and Don Knowles' National Primary Soccer Championship wraps up. Here's Tej Adderley with a check on sports. Tej?
Thanks, Ty. Good evening. I'm Tej Adderley here to finish off the week strong with some sports. Coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen is the only Bahamian to coach an NCAA Division I basketball team. Her team, the Ole Miss Rebels women's basketball team, is here for the Battle for Atlantis tournament. Our Sasha Lightborn spoke exclusively with her today.
I think they know. They see me rep 242 all the time, so I don't want to put added pressure on them to feel like they can't let me down. They already feel like that, but to lose in Coach Joe's country is an added pressure that I don't think this generation handles well. So I'd rather not say. They know I'm from here. They know how much I love this country, but they also know this is a business trip.
That was Coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen. Born and raised in Grand Bahama, she's the head coach for Ole Miss's women's basketball team in town for this weekend's Battle for Atlantis, speaking to us exclusively about winning on
Battle
home
for
soil.
Atlantis is a high-level tournament, so really good teams. This is a tournament I kept my eye on for probably 5 years now, so just an honor to be a part of it. As far as Team 49 is concerned, we're just focused on getting better and using these next 3 games in 3 days to really find out more things about ourselves, develop our depth, and see where we are from a physical and mental standpoint.
And she spoke to us about the season thus far, where her team is 2-1.
I mean, I thought the one loss versus Oklahoma came at a perfect time for us, was necessary because, you know, my team has big goals. And so in order for us to achieve those goals, we have to be tested and challenged way sooner than the average show. And so that is what playing Oklahoma that early did for us. We were exposed in some spaces. There are some things that we usually do that we did not do, put in because we were put in a challenging situation. And so for me, I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, we want to be ready for March.
Ole Miss is set to take on Howard University tomorrow beginning at noon in the Imperial Arena at Atlantis Resort. Reporting for our sports, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
Thanks, Sasha. Moving things over to the pitch. The Don Knowles Primary School Soccer Tournament Finals wrapped up this week. Let's meet the winners. The tournament finals were played earlier this week at the Roscoe A. Davies Field. In the under-10 division, Cleveland Indians took the girls' title, winning a 1-0 thriller over Sadie Curtis thanks to a goal from Katie Fowler, while Eva Hilton took the boys over Silverstrawn 2-1, with both goals coming from Antonio Hernandez. In the under-12s, Eva Hilton's girl beat E.P. Roberts 2-1 in PKs, while Silverstrawn beat Garventines 3-2 to win the boys' crown. All the sports we have for this week. I'm Tage Adderley. Have a great weekend.
Still ahead on Our News Tonight, a newly founded organization on a mission to educate the country about the importance of conserving a Bahamian delicacy. We'll tell you which one straight ahead. And wild weather in the capital on this Friday as we prepare for the weekend. Wondering what else is to come? Well, Greg is back with the answer when Our News returns. Stay with us.
Have you heard that sound? It's the sound of us. Since our origins, we burst music. Our sounds mix together. So let us hear your sound too. Your sound of passion, of joy, of friendship. The sound of your style and the beat of your night. It's time to play together the sound of Guinness, the sounds of greatness.
Doctors Hospital's reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices.
Welcome back to Our News. Parents and kids interested in boarding schools or university in the UK will have the opportunity to see some of what the country has to offer at the UK Education Fair held at the Margaritaville Resort this Saturday. Director of Beach Education Fiona Beach says the event will be a great opportunity for parents and kids to get to know what the modern boarding experience is like.
Boarding schools now are absolutely amazing, and it's the fact that each school that we've got coming out is all slightly different, and they've been hand selected for that reason, because I really want to give families in Nassau the opportunity to come down, and whether it's sailing, whether it's horse riding, whether they're looking for a school that offers the IB or A levels, there are so many different options out there.
While the UK Education Fair takes place from 4 until 7 p.m. this Saturday, Beach has these tips for parents on how to prepare for the fair.
if they've got school reports or a resume, if they're particularly keen on a certain aspect of school life, or for example, they were maybe wanting to apply for a sports scholarship, if they've got anything to bring along. The schools always love to chat and find out more about the pupils. So I would encourage them to come down and have an informal chat with us.
Heavy rain and even the threat of a tropical storm this week as we come to the end of the 2023 hurricane season, but this isn't unusual for the country. Greg is back with more weather details in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, not really unusual. We start to look towards the Caribbean and, of course, just to the east of the Bahamas and into the Gulf of Mexico for formation of any systems. We did have this slight chance for one that developed a low just to the north of the Bahamas, and that caused a lot of the rain that we've been having. And also we're watching the system down to the south. Good news, though, the National Hurricane Center is giving this a very unlikely chance for formation over the next couple of days. And the reason why that is happening, there's a dip in the jet stream that's moving across us, an upper level trough, that's what we call it, and that's basically sharing that system apart. Quite a bit of rainfall. Looking at the satellite imagery, a lot of the sharing taking place, a lot of the showers of thunderstorms disorganized, most of it now moving across Hispaniola, some of it in the southeast Bahamas, but nothing trailing behind that. So we're looking for some isolated showers and some thunderstorms across the southeast Bahamas as well as Turks and Caicos Islands. Rainfall amounts anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, with some isolated amounts up to about 6 to 8 inches, 4 to 6 inches, pardon me. But things will be quieting down for us over the next couple of days as the system moves out in the open Atlantic. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas, small craft use some caution, west to northwest winds, 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, with up to 7 feet. High tide will be at 10:41 tonight, with your low tide taking place at 4:43 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, an advisory down there due to the system moving into your area. Southeast to south, 15 to 20 knots with some higher gusts, seas 4 to 6, but up to 8 feet in some Atlantic and northeasterly swells. Here is a look now at your national forecast. In extended forecast, we'll keep some showers in the forecast tomorrow, but by Sunday we expect things to be improving. Dry air mass will be moving into our area, and of course those temperatures will be very comfortable in the low to mid 80s. Nighttime temperatures will be in the low 70s. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, Certified Conch is a newly founded organization that is set out to educate the public about the importance of conserving the Bahamian delicacy for generations to come. Now, for that story with our Danielle Miller, head on over to ournews.bs. It's available now. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hey, welcome back to the Charlie Bahama Show, and we made it here to south of Eleuthera, and we are here at Cape Eleuthera now, okay? So we made it all the way down south, and thank you so much, Bahamas Air, for getting us here fast and safe. And look, KFC, you all